Wow, wow, hello, 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 hello. Yeah, I'ma leave all that in there. I like that. That's my new ad lib. Hello, hello.
So yeah, no, for real though. We're moving forward. There since we hopping on it. Like I'm sure everybody
We ain't
done thought
hopping on
about getting
nothing.
married. Well, you know what I mean when I say what I say. Since we talking about it, it's like, yo, we all think about having partners, finding partners, being with somebody. But let's say eventually down the line it don't work. Y'all agree with like contract relationships or marriages? Like if it don't meet this quota by this point, will it expire or
You're doing
what?
Hey,
you're
hold
doing a
on.
good job. Come on,
What comes with
Terry.
this contract though?
Hold on.
The contract said like the question because it was on Shade Room, and I feel like the way it was worded was really worded correctly. So if you have it, then you
I
can
don't
go ahead
have
and
it.
read it. I can try to find it.
It ain't
Okay,
me.
go ahead.
Well, Jamal, I don't have it, bro, but remember it, but I don't remember exactly what it said. But 4-year contract, yada yada yada. Let's go back to our thread and see what it says. It said instead of marriage, would you sign a 4-year contract and sign an extension or a new contract when it's up? That's what
There you go.
our conversation said.
Honestly, when I read that, okay, so like as y'all know, when homegirl had did my hair the other day, I ended up watching Housewives of Potomac, and I started
Okay.
binge watching it. And the girl named Ashley or whatever, she did that pretty much with her husband, where
Mhm.
she renewed her contract to show that she was trying to. It was a prenup contract that she was trying to show him that she trusts him and he in hopes that he trusts her and all this other stuff. So it went from being a 3-year contract to a 5-year contract. Yeah,
So we talking about a grand total of 8 years, or we talking about something else? Just want to make sure.
pretty much. So it's like because
Okay.
they haven't had no kids. She was trying to show that she was with him for the love, not for his money and all this other stuff. Great, this wasn't my topic. But I kind of don't agree with it because my thing is this: if you with me, be with me. Like I shouldn't have to keep signing these contracts for you because at that moment that lets me know that you don't, for one, don't believe that I'm with you because I love you, and two, it makes me feel like you don't want to be with me because you love me. It's like I'm a trophy thing for you, and you feel like I'm trying to be with you for your money.
Mm,
I don't feel like we have no trust in that.
mm, mm, mm,
So that's how I feel about people that does
Yes.
those prenups and all that stuff because it's like you want a prenup because you feel like I don't love you and I'm only in this because I want your money.
Yes, I was just about to say the same thing. Like a
Mm-hmm.
prenup. That's just like signing a prenup. No, I don't think I would sign a prenup. If it really comes down to it, I might have to think about it. But honestly, I don't think I would sign a prenup.
Right, and the thing is, I don't think I will want to do a pre. Cause this is my whole thing with it. We have to date before we start being a whole relationship, anyways.
for sure.
So if I can't figure out from you when we dating if you in it because you love me or because you want my money, then I don't know why I'm fucking trying to marry you. Because
Exactly. And then on the same end, we need to split everything. Cause if you want me to sign a prenup, nigga, we're getting half of shit. You're not getting every
right.
goddamn thing.
But then it comes into if you don't have anything. And I think that's why a lot of people
Mm.
do this whole prenup thing because the other person they trying to date, marry, whatever, don't have nothing. And that's why they do this prenup. But my thing is this: if you feel like that, then why the hell you dating me if you know I don't have nothing?
Well,
Because maybe
Chris, you talking
somewhere
about it. Oh,
along
go
the
ahead, baby.
line, you could maybe start a business or have something going for yourself sometime, and then boom, goddamn,
Okay.
shit
But
all
if
fall through.
but if this is my thing, if I end
Hold on,
up having a
Chris. Let me
bit,
say this right fast. Let me say this.
okay, I'm sorry.
My, my fault, bro. I was just saying, like, she touching on that dating from potential instead of your reality
Mm-hmm.
type thing, and that get a lot of us caught up, especially myself. I done did about 3 or 4 times, and done got me messed up. But go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
No, I'm gonna say this. If that's the case, then who is doing the investment? If you feel like if I say, oh, I'm gonna start this type of business, do other stuff, who putting that money in? Is it I putting my own money or get other people to invest in me, or are you investing in me? Because if you invest in me, that means you see me as a fucking person that you a product. Because you invested money in me, so you think you're gonna enhance and get more money off of me. So off that right there, you don't see me as somebody that you love. You see somebody as you trying to make a product off of. So I might well be a fucking prostitute.
Oh my god.
No, I'm being for real. Because when you put money in a prostitute, your profit is for you to get it. Your profit is your nut. That's what you're getting off of that money. So if I'm doing a business, you put that money in my business, you trying to get multiple nuts off of me. And if it don't work out, is I could pull my money right from under your feet and leave you with nothing. But at the same time, I still got what I needed from it.
Question: what are we now talking about?
Stay in the conversation.
The contract, the contractual agreement process. Your 4-year contract.
I just wanted to know because, like, I knew that was the topic, but I didn't know if there's another question introduced with like as a subsection of that topic. Because I heard him talking about financial gains for sex or whatever.
Mm. So, yeah, you good? Anybody got that something want to touch base on with the subject matter?
I just
Benny does. Benny does.
Go ahead, Benny. So you would do a 4-year contract? Why not?
I'm not doing no contract. I'm not signing shit I don't know nothing about. You can have a whole other contract under that bitch. Magic marker, some shit I don't know what's on that shit. I'm not doing no contract. But
hey, yo, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
You doing marriage? So it's either marriage or a 4-year contract that's renewed after that 4 years. Which one you doing?
Is it a contract for marriage though?
You say you're doing a contract for marriage?
I said, is it a contract for marriage?
Yeah. Like that's the one, and then y'all gonna stick it through. You know what I'm saying? To death do y'all part. Or they're either the 4-year contract that renews every 4 years, or whatever y'all agree upon after the 4 years.
Oh, I misunderstood the question then.
I think I do the 4 years because I don't see some marriages not go the way everybody was making it seem. I think I would have to just go the 4-year route.
But let's understand, when you get married, that is a commitment between you and another person. It's not saying that everything is going to be 100% good and perfect through. We all going to have a problem with each other, something but somebody done. It's called working through it.
There it is.
Ooh, let's get into that then. Let's get into that. We about to subtopic that motherfucker. So, with that being said, with this whole trying to do what's good, so them vows say for better for worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do death do us part, right?
Do us part, yep.
Okay. So if that motherfucker cheat on you, what you doing?
Death do you part. You have to.
Hey, people cheat for a reason.
People get divorced. So if it says for better or worse, what are you doing? Ladies.
You still gonna have to.
You gonna work through it? You gonna work through it? I don't believe you. I don't. I feel like you the type that be like, nigga, I want a divorce.
Sacrifice my vows for some stupid stuff that you did because you're gonna have to answer to God by yourself. I stayed in my commitment. It ain't gonna be an easy road, but for better or for worse, we're gonna have to work this out. It's gonna be a long time before I can forgive you. Look at rest his soul, Kobe Bryant and Vanessa. Look what they went through. There's a lot of celebrities out here, Jada and Will. It wasn't no entanglement. It was straight up cheating.
Okay, so let me ask you this: is it cheating because you found out?
What?
No.
It's cheating. It's cheating because they did it.
No. Let's talk about it. Because if she never found out, would she know?
Oh, like that. I mean, granted, it's still cheating. She just wouldn't know.
Right. So she still would have been fulfilling her vows of for better or worse, but she would never knew about the worst part. So she would have been in a relationship the whole time getting cheated on. It's a different story when you know one time about getting cheated on. But he could be cheating on her several times and she never knew. So how many times are you willing to deal with that before you divorce that nigga?
So check this out.
Better for.
All we really need to know is, are you for the marriage or are you for the 4-year contract? And just because you take the 4-year contract, I just want to let y'all know it doesn't mean y'all can't later on go through the marriage. Because just say it's be up for negotiation. So what do y'all?
But that contract don't say he can't. He don't. That contract don't also say
contract is
that
between
I end
y'all.
up cheating.
Y'all's contract is between y'all. It's whatever it is that's in that contract. So if it has,
Okay.
I don't want to touch on infidelity. If nobody can cheat, that's that for the 4 years. That's agreed upon. But at least the two parties would be able to speak on whatever it is before embarking on the 4-year journey.
Right.
Okay, so let's touch on that then. If you saying that that contract says that we won't do no infidelities, I go past that and we get married and I cheated. What do that mean for you now?
Good question.
I guess
believe
because you won't willing to deal with it in that 4-year prenup, but you get married. So what is it saying to you now?
Okay, so with that being said, Chris, what side of the fence do you stand on? You stand on the 4-year or you stand on the marriage?
On my ass, if you cheat on me, we done. Like, I don't give a fuck about what that Bible say about standing for better or worse. That's the worst to me, because at the end of the day, because my thing is this: if I can't give you what you want while we together, so I'm gonna stay with you and continue to try to work on it, because that means I already didn't give you what you wanted. Mm-hmm. I already didn't do what you wanted me to do, so I'm gonna stick to it for you to do it again, because I already wasn't doing what you wanted me to do.
Okay, so let's just go down the list. I'm gonna go by everybody. Terry, I'm not trying to take over your position, but I just want to go ahead and wrap up the topic soon. So I'm gonna just go down the list of everybody that's in order from my screen. So I have Chelsea, I have Benny, I have Chris. Chris just gave his. I have Nini, and I have Taryn last as far as my order. So Chelsea, what do you feel? You feel like you good on marriage or you good on the 4-year contract? And if so, why either or?
Now wait, are we doing based off somebody cheating, or we just talk about in general?
Whatever your contract has.
No, I'm based off marriage. I'm not about to do no contract with you, because that's playing games. You wasted my time during that 4 years, and you feel like after that 4 years you don't want to be with me and don't want to marry me. Then I just wasted 4 years, or I could have been out here finding somebody else.
Right.
So no, I'm with marriage.
Okay. Benny?
I'm with 4 years. I don't think I can do marriage, but like 4 years, you can also build something better. Then when the next contract come up, it could be marriage after that. It don't necessarily have to be another 4 years. So I'm just going with 4 years.
Okay. Chris?
I can't wait till it's my turn.
Chris? We'll let you go ahead and get the floor back, bro.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got a little confused about his answer, because if you're saying that you could do 4 years but you can't do marriage, I just don't understand it, because that 4 years you still giving your time to someone.
But if you're in a marriage with someone and some shit happened within them 4 years, you stuck in a contract with them. Marriage. You don't have another contract coming up, so you pretty much got to go through divorce and paperwork and money and shit that people don't want to deal with. Why not?
But that contract is still where you can get out. I mean, the same thing with a divorce. You could divorce them. I mean, they make you get half of what you got, you get half of them. In that contract, it really just depends on what stimulations you put in there. So you can say you get what I get when I came. If I came into this with this, that's what I'm gonna get. If you came into this marriage with this, that's what you're gonna get. So really just a stimulation of what you. put on there, but we don't know what was put on there. So the question is the 4-year contract versus a marriage. You don't know what that 4-year contract holds. So you wouldn't still put yourself 4 years of dealing with someone and they cheat on you versus someone where you get married with, you don't know how long that marriage been and they cheat on you. It's still the same thing to me, to be honest with you.
So which one would you go with? 4 years or marriage?
Look, so
which one, Chris? One of the two, one or the other.
You might as well marry me because I ain't about to waste my time doing 4 years. Cause
go through divorce.
Look, I ain't got time for that. You're gonna marry my ass and get me what I give you. Because if you're gonna divorce me, the motherfucker, you gonna divorce me right now. Shit.
I got you. And what about you, Nene?
I gotta be married for real, cause I don't need no 4-year contract, and he don't need no 4-year contract. He don't even need to be thinking about no 4-year contract.
Ooh, hot dang!
Talk on it, sister.
Beat him up, beat him up.
What about you, Taryn? What's your thoughts?
My brother, see, I'm a lot of people understand this reference here. When it comes to that contract thing, my first thing I start thinking about here is for people to understand the NBA deals, NFL contracts. Y'all ever notice somebody who's in the last year of their deal, how motivated they are to sign that next one? That's the kind of heart I need in a marriage. I'm always gonna lean towards marriage because I'm in this to make you happy for a lifetime. I'm in this so that I know that I'm gonna be happy for a lifetime. If you ain't in that with me, there's no point in even doing either or. Because at that point, I'm wasting my time here. If you are on a circumstantial type of effort, type of love basis, there's no need for that. I need my partner, my woman, to understand that I got her for life. I need to understand that she got me for life. And if we doing anything other than that, just slide to the left. Slide to the left.
So you to the left. For the 4 or against the 4?
I'm against the 4. I'm with marriage. I need that marriage.
You say
so let's date until we know for sure that we are beneficial to each other for a lifetime.
And that's my thing with that. Like, I don't think a contract has to be there. If we dating, why we need a contract?
So my thing is, Taryn, I'm gonna speak on that since you ended off on that. I'm gonna speak on that. I'm for the 4. I'm for the 4 because it's like I feel like a lot of people just literally rush into it because you had to date the person. It's not like saying, hey, after I'm done dating, or when I'm like, hey, marriage is being talked about, and then it's 4 years from there. I feel like let's say it's introduced after the 6 months of y'all talking to each other and y'all being official. Well, okay, 4 years from now, where do we want to be? Because I feel like that gives the couple something to work towards and see what's what like 4 years from there, rather than saying, oh, we had to be married because society says so, or we had to be in a certain place in our life because we want our lives to look as this rather than what's beneficial for both of us. So I feel like after the 4 years, it could be reestablished saying, okay, I want to get married, or, hey, this was fun. This is a nice experiment. Whether it's the time, I don't feel like no time would be wasted unless, no fun or nothing was learned within those 4 years. But I feel like you have 4 years to learn about the person rather than just saying, yeah, this is one I want to do. Because if in my mind, 1 second, buddy. Be easy, man. Love you, bro. All right. So in my mind, I love you, poo-poo. So in my mind, it's one of those like The Bachelorette and The Bachelor show, something like that. That in those days, like let's say they have 3 months to say, hey, I want to fulfill a contract to be married to this person for the rest of my life, rather than saying, hey, I want to be in a contract with them for 4 years, and then we can see where it goes from there after the 4. I feel like a lot more people would be more lenient and they'll be able to learn more of the person from the 4 years rather than saying, this is what I want for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel on it.
Well, let me ask you this before we move to the next topic, because I know we're reaching up to 2 hours, whatever.
Right.
Quick question for those who said they are for the 4-year contract with, I think it was Jamal and Benny, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is, because I feel like it is different things for people. So what is it in that 4-year contract that make you want to do it? Because to me, that 4-year contract is basically saying we're still dating versus marriage.
Yeah.
Right. So why do I need to sign a contract if we're still dating?
I feel like even the simple fact of me saying, hey, we had to sign a contract, like that sounds crazy. But let's say that that's what's being presented. So if this contract is signed and both parties agree, I feel like, I mean, marriage is no different. Your marriage could last 4 years, and then that 4 years that it lasted could have been like, hey, I used 4 years, and at the end of that, I'm not. This isn't for us. This isn't for me. This is for you. Let's just split ways and be happy. But at least at that point, based off legal aspects, no money is less necessarily like saying at fault. Like the guy had to pay out because it's divorce or whatever, or the woman has to pay out and change backgrounds. It's just a dating thing, a dating terms. Out of the 4 years, you can literally get married and be good for the rest of your life. That's
but is that what I'm saying? So what is it in that 4-year contract that make you want to sign that 4-year contract? Because it will be different from different people, I feel like. Because a marriage is one whole thing. There's no this right here for different people. A marriage is one solid thing for people. Everybody is on the same line of where it comes to marriage. But it's 4-year contract. You can put what stipulations you want on it. So what stipulations will you want? Benny, what stipulations would you want on it? I don't make you talk, bro. I'm gonna be like Jamal. I'll make you talk.
Honestly, I don't have any stimulations placed into it as much as I do with the freedom that I would have from it on both ends.
Because, what freedom?
I mean, the freedom as far as saying like you're not locked into it, because like with marriage, you have people who've been married for 40 years on the 41 year being like, yeah, this ain't it. But it's one of those where it's like, 1 second, huh? No, I'll part right down. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
At what point is fear guiding our decision, and at what point is that happiness or love guiding our decisions?
Right, because what you talking, it's like you still having freedom to still play around with other people.
No. Because like my thoughts is like, all right, so let me ask you all this so I could properly gauge my answer to y'all's question. How long of dating somebody until you say, hey, this is the one I want to be with for the rest of their life?
What are you talking about, engagement? Because okay. Let me ask you this.
Hold on, Chris. Let him ask a question right fast. I'm sorry, bro.
From when you met the person to when you say, hey, I do, those words. I'm talking about the engagement period is over, you married the person. How long of dating do you need until you say, hey, this is the one I want to be with for the rest of my life?
But you know what I'm saying, with your question, what you just asked, is kind of flawed, because you can't get to that part by saying I do until the engagement part. Because you can date someone and say, I want to be married to you and do an engagement, but then that's a whole different, to me, that's a whole different set of dating. That's why I say you can't jump from I'm dating to marriage and say I do, because when you dating, you're on a whole different level. When you're engagement, that's where it's fully just you and them. You start learning even more about that person, because usually people. That's why I say I don't be against people who move in together but not engaged or married, because you start really learning the ins and outs of that person to let them know if you even want to be engaged to that person to go to marriage. Okay, so that's why I said
let me ask you this.
You have a dating, you have an engagement, and you have a marriage. You're dating to I want to marry you. It's not gonna work.
Let me ask you this. How long until you get the engagement, and how long until the engagement to the marriage for you, Chris?
For me, it varies for different people.
I'm talking about for you, Chris.
For me, I don't know, because I never got to that point.
But I'm saying, let's say ideally you did. You know what I'm saying? Hypothetically you did. So from dating, from when you said hello to the person and then they said hey back and y'all hit it off, y'all started dating, how long until you asked?
Well, to me,
how long until marriage?
To me, I feel like if we're doing engagement, it shouldn't take that long. If anything, it should be almost a year, because I feel like somebody that's dating should have been dating for a long period of time to where they know that person.
So how long is a long period of time?
Huh?
How long is a long period of time?
As far as dating or the engagement part?
As far as dating. You said a long period of time.
To me, I feel like we should have been dating for at least, I wouldn't even say 5 years, but at least close to it.
So 4 years, that's literally what I'm saying all this time. You have 4 years to decide whether you want to go into the engagement realm.
No, I'm saying for me,
the marriage realm.
No, I'm saying for me, that 5 years should have been to the cut. Like you can decide if you're gonna be with somebody between 2 to 5 years. But after that 5 year mark, it shouldn't be we dating no more. It shouldn't.
And I'm not saying I don't agree with that. I'm just saying, like, if you have 4 years to decide, hey, this is where I want to be, or this is it where I want to be.
But
like,
I'm saying that contract is different. If I'm doing a contract with you, that's like that's, to me, that's even above an engagement. That's like an engagement, because some people that do that contract, it'd be the contract, and then they want to go to an engagement. If I did this contract with you, why we got to do an engagement? That contract wasn't an engagement.
But check this out: is marriage not a business also?
Not in my eyes. I don't want it to be.
Yeah, but in the you say you don't want it to be, but in the law's eyes, it is. It seems.
But that's what I'm saying. So are you really in this for love? If you say it's like coming off a business, that's what I'm saying. Is it really come off of love, or is it coming off as a convenience? Because
we all know we all know ain't no love in business. We all know that. So what's gonna be your guiding factor here? Hey, I'm about to level up on my tax bracket by marrying you, or I'm about to find some holy matrimony when I'm marrying you. Which one we finna operate off of? Because if it's that versus that, I already know what I want.
Yeah. So I'm staying in the realm of love, but I'll just bring that up as far as like how it is in today's age. Marriage is seen as a business within the Constitution. Dang, I didn't put it left. But yeah, marriage is seen as a business within the Constitution. So, as far as like not even to get too complex on it, because that could be complex if we take that route. I just want to stay on this route because I feel like this is enough. So, Chris, earlier you said 2 to 5 years until you find out that person, whether you want to engage and whether you want to marry that person.
Right, because to me, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but what I'm gonna say to you is,
I feel like with that being said, on your end, with you saying 2 to 5, now you are more likely to be on the side of me and Benny, because my mind with your answer literally lines up. I'm not saying, hey, after 4 years, just another extended 4 years. After the 4 years, you have a negotiation, just like the people Terrence spoke about in the league, saying, hey, I want to be signed to this team permanently, or hey, I still want to be a free agent. You have that right. It's a right. And that's why I'm talking about the freedom after the 4 years, saying, hey, this is working or this is not working. Because you could be married for 4 years, hell, even 5, 7, 40 years, and be like, yeah, this isn't it. We should have ended this a while back.
Like, let me say something.
So I want to clarify that before you jump in, Taryn. I want to clarify that on that when I say about 2 to 5 years. So when I'm saying about the 2 to 5 years, in that I'm saying more of, in that 2 years, I should stop dating you, and I should engage to you. So in that engagement, it'd be that 3rd year coming is I do this proposal. So that 3 to that 5 is more of 2 more years of engagement, so we can have time to build, get our money up to where we want to do this wedding, because everybody's wedding is different. Some people want an extravagant wedding, some people want a simple wedding. So after that 2 years, 2.5 years of dating, I should want to know I want to be engaged and marry you. So then it comes to that 2.5 to that 3, that 5 mark. So it's like that dating part is still in there. It's like 2 years, 2.5, I'm proposing, that 2.5 to that 5, we are engaged and we're about to go to marriage. Because at the end of the day, if we engage to each other, we still learning more of each other. And we learn in the depths of, I want to marry you. Because if you think about it, when people are talking to someone, they give you a certain type of vibe. And then when I start actually dating you, that vibe changes to somebody else. Then when we get engaged, it changes to somebody else.
Mean somebody else.
So people change throughout the seasons.
So for example,
if they change throughout the seasons, why not?
I'm gonna explain to you what I'm talking about. So if we're just talking, I'm gonna make sure my place is always clean. I want to make sure this is here, that is there, and third. We start dating. I start letting my hair down a little bit more. I don't really wash all the dishes in the sink. If it's a girl, they don't always have their hair together. Like it starts changing. When we start actually fully engaged, you may see a female without her makeup. You may see a nigga without a cut. Like it starts changing the more you get into stuff. And then you start learning, do I want to be with that person? Because they can stay the night and you cannot like the way they fucking snore. And that can change the whole relationship.
So
Chelsea.
That being said,
apartment and you can change because everybody's different. I can have a different swag when I'm trying to talk to you versus when I got you.
And I agree. So you like I don't see Chris, you're arguing, and I feel like you literally belong on the side of me and Benny because you keep saying that I'm hearing your timeline, I'm hearing the 2 to 5, but 4 falls in between 2 and 5. Like it's
no,
not
because
listen, it's not saying like just because the 4 years, you don't even have to hit that 4-year mark to be like 2.5. I want to be with you. Let's go ahead and get married. You could go ahead and throw that contract out, but that contract is there saying, hey, if you don't get what you came here for, and I don't get what we came here for, at least everything's out on the table. You go into relationships. Hold on 1 second. You go into relationships without a contract, but you have the mental contract already drawn out because y'all saying if that person cheat, I'm out. That's a mental contract that you did not share with the person. If the person, hold on, if y'all had a contract between each other, they're saying, hey, if this isn't it, if y'all do this, then if either one of us do this, then we out. This is good. This is a point to break and leave. Then that's one of those where it's like, at least it's been spoken upon and verbally. But if it's all mental, people can't read your mind on that, bro.
But the reason I say it's different is because when you do, most time when people do a contract, they are looking or they are expecting or have put stimulations on something to mess it up. When I'm just dating you, they go into engagement. Yes, I may find things I don't like about you, but that's when I try to figure out if I want to still deal with you. When it's a contract, people go be like, oh, this what you're doing? I don't want it, and jump out off ship. But when I'm sitting here trying to talk to you and date you and figure out what I can do with you to what you don't do that I don't like, I try to work with that or see how I can flip it. But when you're in a contract, it's like, oh, I already told you why I'm not gonna like it. You doing what I don't like, so I'm cutting out on it early. That's the difference. That's why I feel the difference is on that. It's because I already gave you what it was and you don't want to do it, and I'm jumping out off ship versus where I engage with you, I date you, and you show me what it is, and I try to work with it because I'm actually in love with you. With a contract, it's like, I'm in love with you, but I already got my stimulations on you, and I don't want to deal with it. That's why I feel the difference is.
I actually, we can agree to disagree.
Wow, hello. Yeah, I'm gonna leave all that in there. I like that.